Patrick Ho tells a China Story 11, a sustainable lifestyle. Sustainability as a core value and a lifestyle. One of the most significant and substantial progress made in recent years on a global level is reducing the number of people living in extreme poverty in half. Out of the 700 million people lifted out of poverty worldwide, 500 million were from China alone. However, the prolonged global economic downturn and violent conflicts in the past years have exacerbated inequality and poverty, producing more refugees in suffering and posing challenges to the sustainability of these results. Did we just treat the symptoms of poverty without eradicating the root of poverty problem? Today, 1.2 billion people still live in extreme poverty, and 12% of the world remains chronically undernourished. On the other hand, a third of the food produced globally for human consumption, or 1.3 billion tons per year, gets wasted. In the most affluent country, the United States, alone, avoidable food waste amounts to 200 billion US dollars per year. When 1.6 billion or 22% of people in the world are permanently blighted by energy poverty, the most affluent society on earth, with 5% of the world's population, drives 25% of the world's cars, consumed 20% of the world's total energy, and 40% of the world's motor gasoline. Such a lifestyle is unsustainable. And if everyone on this earth chooses to adopt this way of life, it will take 4 earths to keep us going. Our efforts of meeting the Sustainable Development Goals have always been concentrated on the underprivileged and the poor. But perhaps as we embarked onto the next decade, we should also rally the affluent and the rich multitudes in the developed world countries, and especially those living in the cities, into action and revisit a basic concept of sustainability as a core value for all. Sustainability as a core value could be an overarching theme and concept to bring the hearts and minds of all mankind together into a movement with broad public participation that would make the world's development agenda self-sustainable. The spirit of sustainability calls for self-control and refrainment against excess and indulgence. It reminds us not to waste and to use the earth's resources sparingly, wisely, and intelligently. Our consumption should cater for what we need rather than what we want and desire, for desires can be insatiable and have no limits. It warns against greed and calls for moderation. Central to it all is the people's lifestyle. President Xi Jinping calls for the principle of frugality and not to waste. In a way, it is a revisit to the traditional Chinese cultural value of a simple lifestyle of moderation, of using less, using efficiently, recycle use, and innovative use. A discussion of Chinese traditional value of moderation and self-restraint on production and consumption pattern will shed some light on changing our unsustainable lifestyle. The impoverished to be lifted out of distress and difficulties, while the affluent to be frugal and moderate is the only way to sustainability. Indeed, the principle of sustainability should be incorporated into our daily lives and manifested by our every deed and action. It should not be just a slogan, a policy, or a campaign for a day. It should be our way of life. Then, a sustainable lifestyle becomes natural as we pursue personal growth while fully respecting our social, political, and natural environments and mindful of our cultural legacy. Every one of us, rich and poor, from the north and the south, the haves and have-nots, has a role to play to assure that the Earth's resources would be conserved and reserved. After all, from a core value to a sustainable lifestyle, the common denominator is respect. Respect of our fellow man's needs, respect of nature's needs, respect of future generations' needs, and respect of man's own spiritual needs. These are the remarks at the United Nations General Assembly High-Level Political Forum on Sustainable Development Goal at the United Nations, New York, USA, on 2013, September 23rd. A China Story 11, A Sustainable Lifestyle.